Dillon missing low, 1-1. Galone opened the first game with a walk and scored, and that just kind of set the table for 14 more that came in before it was all through.
I think the other thing, too, is who can jump out first in this game, and Fordham did in the first one. We'll see if they're able to do that again and just keep rolling with the runs.
Dillon looks to be a fast worker on the mound.
Something else we didn't see in the first game. We got a lot of guys that were pacing around the mound, and
Santi Galone got all of that one, drives it deep to left center field, and that one is off the fence. Galone will be in with a stand-up double.
So he got all of that one. That was a line shot right at the 375 sign, and he got a hold of a Jim Dillon fastball. Jim Dillon, as we said, he'll come right at the hitters with the power game, and that ball's right in the middle of the plate, and Santi Galone gets all of it. It's a line shot, a little bit more height on this one, and forget it. Right off the top of the fence.
Yep. So much for cooling off the Fordham bats. Pete DeLuca rips one foul down the left field side. Again, the Fordham hitters just not waiting.
They are collectively in a groove right now. We've talked about timely hitting from Maine, but clearly in this game they need a big performance out of Dillon.
Pitches the outside corner. 0-2 now to DeLuca. .292 average in the tournament so far.
He's picked it up considerably. He had a couple of hits, and we think the knockout punch was delivered by DeLuca. A 3-run double. The 7th inning of the first game. Gave Fordham a 5-run cushion.
John Winkin. Concerned, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Wants to shift the momentum Maine's way early in this one if he can.
The third pitch is foul back. The count stays at 0-2. Galone on second with a leadoff double.
Well, he's got Dillon. He should feel a little better, Mike, this in terms of being ready for this one. He's got Dillon on the mound, who won 8 games this year. Gary Taylor back out in right field. He's got the sore shoulder. And Andy Hartung, designated hitter, which is where he has been throughout most of this tournament. So the lineup a little bit more settled.
Oh, there's a shot up the gap in left center field. That's in for a clean single. Galone will come around to score. Big turn at first by DeLuca. And Fordham just, the beat goes on. They lead 1-0.
Well, talk about quieting the bats down. They come right out with 2 rocket shots to start this second game. And between Galone now and DeLuca, those are a couple of the hot bats in this lineup. A ball that's down and away, I think Dillon probably feels he put that where he had to, but the Fordham hitters are going with the pitch and lining it out there.
Galone scores the first run, as he did in the opening game here this afternoon. Mike Ancalara, designated hitter in this game, steps in. Dillon the move to first base.
And as we talked about, Fordham, with the first run of this game, we'll see if they can build upon that. But again, they've taken advantage.
Ancalara looks at a strike on the outside corner.
That was Dillon's slider. So the fastball and the slider, and most of what he throws comes in there with velocity.
0-1 pitch. 1-1. The last thing that Jim Dillon wants to get is squeezed here. He feels like he was on that one. 2-1.
Definitely a close pitch. He dropped down to the side for a new look that time, too.
Catches the corner, 2-2. Dillon gets the K.
Now that's an unusual thing. Maine, Fordham has not taken too many strikes in this ball game today. Now into the second game, certainly not a called third strike. Can't remember one of those in the first game. Dillon with some tough pitches just paints the outside corner, and real good shot there from our center field camera, and Walt Mortimer with the call.
1 on, 1 out, 1-0 Fordham. Top of the first. Championship and deciding game of the ECAC baseball championships here in Orono. Ray Montgomery to the plate. Strong first game. One closer than the others at first.
Pretty good save by DeLucia over there.
Nice play at second. Good stop. There's 1, 2.
Oh, pretty play. Way to turn it out there.
Tim Scott to Brian Segrin to Mike DeLucia. Minimal damage done. 1-0 Fordham. After a half inning as Dillon works himself out of a jam.
If you're a fan of the SEC, then you'll want to join us each week on SEC Weekly. I'm Gail Stearns, and I host the only sports magazine show that looks at a conference from football to basketball season, from baseball to tennis season. We keep you up to date with all of the happenings in the SEC for both men's and women's sports. So join me each week right here on Sports Channel for SEC Weekly.
We are back, and the Maine Black Bears will get their first shot here in the second game of this doubleheader. Bottom of the first inning. Fordham picking up a run in the top of the first on the Galone double and DeLuca single. Shannon Knox, the third baseman, will lead it off for Maine. And Paul Logadice will be on the mound for Fordham. 1-0. 2.0 ERA.
Mike, he's won his last 5 starts. He's got 5 wins on the year. Dan Gallagher felt pretty good that he got through the first game with Almer and Hutchinson as stoppers all year out of the bullpen, but he could come back in this final game with Logadice.
You would think, though, needs a good 6 or 7 minimum out of Paul here this afternoon.
No, that's right. I have a hard time, you know, hey, it's that point where you can rest in the off-season kind of thing, but Almer went 5, didn't he, in the first game, and you had Hutchinson pitching another 3 innings, so between the two of those guys, they certainly would appear to be tapped out, although if they had to come in and pitch an inning or get a couple outs, you probably could do that, but I've got to think Logadice is going to go deep in this game, or at least they'll rely on him to.
So the Black Bear faithful looking to get it going early here, and Shannon Knox will lead it off. Maine in the home whites here in the second game. Knox a real threat if he can get on base. Didn't have a lot of luck getting on base in that first game. Logadice misses low, ball 1. Inside corner, 1-1.
Logadice opening up, going right after hitters as well. A couple of overhand fastballs. Ground
ball picked off at third by Apostle. Good strong throw, and he got
Got him with the curveball. And that's been successful for Fordham. They've been able to keep the leadoff hitter. If you contrasted the two teams so far today, Santi Galone, the leadoff hitter for Fordham, has been on base quite a bit in this game and started this game off with a double, and Shannon Knox on the other side of the coin has really been kept off balance in this game.
Brian Seguin, the shortstop now. Outside corner, 0-1.
Paul Logodice, he's from the Massachusetts area. He's from Swampscott, Mass.
For one pitch. Count is even, 1-1.
Took something off that one.
Took a lot off that one. Didn't get there.
Somewhat similar styles, though, between Logodice and Dillon. Both pitches seem to work more quickly, and they both are coming right at the hitters with the heat.
Seguin got a lot of that one. Drives it deep to left center field, but there, Ray Montgomery goes down on the warning pad.
It looked like he ran right into the pole on that. Now, that's an example. We talked about Montgomery's speed, and there it was. Just tracked that ball down. That was very well hit by Seguin. Jumps all over this fastball. A little bit different than the one that Galone hit. This one is higher up in the air. It seems to get held up more, but a good job by Montgomery, and then he smashes into the fence. Just tracks it down, unable to stop himself.
Luckily was able to avoid that pole. So 2 up and 2 down for Maine in the bottom of the first, and Mark Sweeney comes to the plate. Center fielder. Gets a ton of that one deep to right field, and we're tied at 1. Mark Sweeney, who hit a tremendous shot foul in the first game, got all of that one.
Was there ever a doubt? And that's the kind of thing that Maine needs. They need to get over the hump, and right now, Mr. Sweeney, I think, has sort of gotten them to an even par with Fordham. And he got all of that breaking ball and just sat there in the middle of the plate. I had a feeling he was going to take one out. He hit that foul home run in the first game. Logodice tries to throw him the breaking pitch, and it just hangs, and you can forget about that one. You see, he got a nice stroke.
All that's for sure.
Bat ended up out near the pitcher's mound. Got to watch that one.
Sam Champy got to watch it, too.
2 very well hit balls in a row now by Seguin, and that man right there, Mark Sweeney.
Hartung looks at one inside. Andy Hartung, the DH for this club. One-oh pitch. Hartung hits a high fly. That's playable out in right field. Champy misjudged it, then came on strong to get it. But Maine, off the home run by Mark Sweeney, has tied it up. It's 1-1 after 1.
You're gonna reach for it today. You're in the pursuit of excellence, and nothing's gonna stand in your way. It's a challenge to your mind, all into your heart. You know you'll never be the same. Like the distance of excellence, the universe.
Springtime here in Maine, and the flowers are indeed in bloom. Just a beautiful setting here at Arno. Very traditional New England campus. And many of the faithful have turned out for the Black Bears. They did not have a good time in that first game, but we're even at 1 here in the second. Good crowd here this afternoon. After a week of rain, it has been, on the whole, a nice day. Some blue sky, a lot of clouds today, but no real threat of rain. Great job by the grounds crew after the week of rain on this field. It's just amazing the playing condition of Mahaney Diamond.
Well, it's fitting, Mike, for the final that they have some good conditions to play in, and the field has responded very well.
Bill Champy, who went 4 for 5 in the first game, is going to lead it off here in the second inning for Fordham. Tied at 1.
See if the Champies can keep the streak alive.
Dillon fouls it, gets one fouled back, rather, by Champy. The 0-1 pitch from Dillon. And catches the corner, strike 2.
Dillon is a very aggressive pitcher. He's going right at the hitters with the breaking ball and likes to drop down to the side and challenge with that hard fastball.
There's a drive up the middle. That's a base hit into center field. So the beat goes on for Bill Champy. 4 for 5 in the first game. 1 for 1 here in the second.
Now it's a 2-strike pitch, but it just sits right out in the middle of the plate, and Bill Champy does what he's been doing all day long with another base hit.
Andy Apostle steps to the plate, the third baseman. Apostle bluffing the bunt and takes a strike. 0-1. We have yet to see, they didn't really need it because they hit the ball so well in that first game, Ron, but we've yet to see the Fordham speed. And this is a team that likes to run a lot. I'd be anxious to see now, early in a 1-1 tie here, whether they look to run.
Well, they've just been swinging the bat so well, they haven't had to do too much of this conservative, set the table, get the man down to second base in this game. Getting the running done by getting base hits and just running around the bases that way. Fossil will hit away here with 2 strikes on him already.
A little dribbler down the first base line. They go to second, get the force at second, back to first. And Apostle beats it out.
Heads-up play at first, though, by DeLucia to cut down the lead man. Good heads-up play. Had that ball been hit any harder, he might have been able to step on first base and throw down to second for the tag, but he was not close enough to the bag and made a good heads-up play. Real inside pitch, and Dillon's starting to do a little bit more of that, and that's throw inside on the Fordham hitters. Nice turn by Seguin. An even better recovery over at first base by the pitcher, Jim Dillon, who was covering on that play.
Dillon the throw to keep Apostle close. 1 down here, top of the second inning. We're tied at 1. 3 hits already for Fordham. Kevin Secor takes one high. 2 balls, no strikes. Secor 2 for 5 in the first game.
He's got that left field stroke going.
Fouls it off down the left side, 2-1.
The way he's been hitting, I think Maine could almost have a bigger shift against him. Get your players, in other words, Brian Seguin, get him further into the hole from shortstop. Pull your left fielder in when the ball is hit to the opposite field by a left-hander. It usually is not a long drive, although Secor's got good power, but shift and force him to hit the ball the other way.
Dillon missing high. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at first, tied at 1, top of the second.
Good control by both pitches so far. Right around the plate.
Dillon a quick worker, too. Comes inside, and Secor fights it off.
Oh, can't get it.
Great try out there by Chad White, and runners at first and second.
Secor just continues to drop the hits in, but that was a fine effort out there. Chad White just ran out of ground. Dillon right inside again off the fist. Secor just in-outs that one. A good effort. But Chad White was already down on the ground on this play and couldn't quite come up with that one. It was
Would have been a trap anyway. It looked like he got on a short hop. And so Sam Champy steps to the plate. 2 on, 1 out. Dillon steps off. This is outside, 1-0.
That was the slider. I mean, one thing the Fordham hitters can count on, Dillon will be coming at them with power pitching. Gear up for the fastball and adjust to the slider.
Fouls it off, looking to bunt. 1-1.
This looked like he was trying to bunt for a hit there. He didn't really square away and give himself up.
Drive foul down the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Sam Champy. 1 out, 2 on. Top of the second. Apostle on second, Secor off first. Another foul down the right side. That one will drift out of play. Being forced to throw a lot of pitches here in the first couple of innings.
Yeah, these foul balls really make a pitcher work.
Ooh, going to reach for one there. First strikeout of the afternoon for Jim Dillon.
Nasty slider on the outside corner. The Champies obviously have not gone down easily.
Make that the second K for Dillon.
Drops down to the side and finally gets Champy to drop the left foot a little bit, and it's just not much he can do with that pitch. That was a tough pitch on the outside corner.
Jim McDermott swings and misses at the first offering.
Does appear that he's trying to pitch inside more. A couple of balls have been hit off the handle.
2 down, 2 on. 0-2 now, the count on McDermott.
Watch him drop down again, Mike. I've got a feeling he's going to come down to the side and come back with that pitch.
Foul back.
That was still a fastball. That other pitch where he just turns it over, that is a tough pitch to hit, particularly with an 0-2 strike. Try to get McDermott reaching for a bad one.
Misses high, 1-2. Jim McDermott 0 for 4 in the first game.
That was a rarity in the Fordham lineup.
Sure was, the only Fordham player without a hit. Pickoff play, fake to second base. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. McDermott, line single out into left center field. Apostle will come around. He'll score. And Fordham continues where they left off. 5 hits in the first 2 innings here. They lead 2-1.
Timely hitting from Jim McDermott, who made some good contact in the first ball game without any hits dropping in. Gets one to drop through, and it's an RBI single. Just stays right down on the ball, gets a good cut on it, and there's no chance at home.
Andy Apostle, who reached on that fielder's choice, comes around to score. 2-1. Fordham here in the middle of the second, and Santi Galone back at the plate. Led off the game with a double.
Fordham is a good fastball hitting team. They are geared up and ready in there.
Little dribbler out in front of the plate. Dillon should be able to make the play here. Gets Galone at first. We have played an inning and a half in the championship game. It's 2-1 Fordham.
What better way to follow America's favorite pastime than watching Sports Channel's baseball lineup? First up is Mets Inside Pitch. Fran Healy follows the Mets all season long and keeps you updated on the team's progress. On deck is the Pennant Chase. What better way is there to keep up with the boys of summer? And the ace of the staff is Ed Randall's Talking Baseball. Hear from the players who make baseball the great tradition that it is. So don't get caught off base. Get the whole baseball picture on Sports Channel.
Sunday, June 3rd, it's the premiere of Speedway Sunday. This live show gives you an up-to-the-minute comprehensive look at the world of motorsports and much more. Watch some of the best soccer players compete in one of the oldest soccer leagues in the world. Direct from Great Britain, it's English League Soccer. Rugged and exciting action every week on English League Soccer, only on Sports Channel.
And the battle for hockey's most coveted prize continues tonight as Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals shift to Edmonton. This pivotal contest showcases the Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers on the Northland's ice. The face-off tonight, 8 o'clock, 5 Pacific time, live on Sports Channel. This event not seen in all areas, so check your local listings. Dan Gallagher has to be happy again with the way his club is off the mark here in the second game. A run in the first, a run in the second. They lead 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the second.
Keeping the upper hand today, the Fordham Rams. They continue to jump out in front of Maine every time Maine tries to challenge. And the job now is for Paul LaJudas to try to keep the Maine bats at bay. Been swinging them pretty well today, but just not as many hits have been delivering at key times the way the Fordham bats have done that job.
Craig Ender, who was the DH and is catching in this second game, steps in. DH in the first game. Outside corner, count is even, 1-1. Line drive, clean hit into left field. Ender with a single to open the second.
Good day for the hitting stats.
Yeah, I guess.
Ender jumping all over the curveball. Seems almost every time up right now. There just aren't any easy outs playing in this game today, and he just jumps on that hanging curveball. And when contact's made today, it seems most of the time it's good, solid contact.
Second baseman Tim Scott now will step in against Paul LaJudas. Changeup misses.
Well, this is it. The winner advances to the Northeast Regional or to a regional, and there's a certain feeling anyhow that the winner will go to Waterbury, Connecticut, which is the Northeast Regional.
Scott 2 for 4 in the opening game. Outside corner, 2-1.
Also a chance, Mike, that, you know, if Fordham is to pull off the double upset here today, of course, they get the automatic bid that with the 40-plus wins, Maine could conceivably get that large bid from the NCAA. Asking to get that at large bid, I was talking to John Garner before the game, and he said, I think it was back in '76, and I said, no, I think it was 1978, because Holy Cross lost to UMass the second game of a doubleheader like this, and we got an at-large bid. But I guess it's difficult to come by, and it's been 12 years since one has been given to a team on the East Coast. Ooh, ouch.
Scott takes one inside. He'll go to first base. 2 on now, nobody out. A piece of paper blew right across the diamond as that pitch was coming in. I was thinking it was going to distract Scott. He didn't move too much on that.
He really didn't, and I think Secor got hit on the plate, too.
See the paper?
There's the paper. There's the ball. Bang.
He really never moved.
And Ender comes up. To second base, Scott gets hit. Secor's limping, so a lot went on in that play.
Gary Taylor, the right fielder, steps in. Pinch hitter in the first game, then stayed in as the DH. Judas misses outside, 1-0.
Judas is either going to come in with the fastball, curve, or that straight change he's shown us.
2 on, nobody out. Fordham ahead 2-1 here, bottom of the second. Ender on second, Scott on first. One pitch for Taylor. Squares around, fakes the bunt, takes a strike. 1-2.
Somewhat surprising that he would fake the bunt, either, you know, drop it down and push the runners over, or good a hit as Gary is. Get in there and get your licks in. Now got himself behind in the count.
Change up. There's one.
Nice turn out there. Malone and McDermott. McDermott's got a rifle coming in from shortstop.
4-6-3. Another look.
Pretty solid piece by Taylor, but it comes right up for Galone, and a nice pivot out there by McDermott. Gets out of the way, drills it in there.
As you mentioned in the first game, McDermott's done some pitching for this club. He's got a gun.
Maybe he'll be the relief pitcher in the second game.
Mike DeLucia at the plate. Ender down to third on the double play, but 2 down now, bottom of the second. Fouled off to the right side.
These are the situations where you need to pick up a run, though. 2 outs. Pick the man up with a good base hit somewhere. These are the instances today where Fordham has been getting the base hits.
Missing low. DeLucia 1 for 4 in this afternoon's opening game. 2-1 pitch. Glad out to right field. Plenty of time and room. Sam Champy puts it away. And Maine unable to capitalize. It's 2-1 Fordham after 2.
Check out Sports Channel America in June. Saturday Night Sizzle with the WBL Game of the Week. On U.S. Olympic Showcase, see America's best hope for gymnastics gold. Plus volleyball versus France, Italy, and Brazil. Live and exclusive NASCAR action, World of International Sports, the Pro Boxing Tour, and the premiere of IWA Pro Wrestling. All that and more in June on Sports Channel America.
A look at the Maine Center for the Arts here on the campus of the University of Maine at Orono. Again, just a delightful setting. The weather the first few days of this tournament not very cooperative, but today it's been nice. Overcast, but no real threat of rain. Occasional breaks of sunlight. The clouds have moved in again now. And it's 2-1 Fordham after 2.
The hitters have enjoyed it.
Boy, I guess. Jim Dillon with the responsibility here for the Black Bears to try to shut down this Fordham attack.
That's exactly what it has been. Dan Gallagher wasn't kidding when he said, really like to see the bats come alive. Well, that was a couple of games ago. It was about 40 hits ago. I mean, New York Tech and Maine in the first game here, and already with 5 hits through 2 innings here in the second game.
Pete DeLuca will lead it off in the third. Takes one inside, ball 1.
Good pitch, though. He gets him off the plate. DeLuca, another one of these guys who's dug in, very aggressive.
1-1. Missing high. That's out of play down the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Fordham has been doing a great job getting their leadoff hitters on in each inning.
Right back to Dillon, who's there.
Self-defense.
Absolutely.
Right on the nose for DeLuca. It's one of those you better get your glove up or you're going to pay the price. And good reaction on the part of Dillon. This ball is coming right back at him. Gets the glove up just in time.
Mike Ancalara, who struck out in the first. As you mentioned, Ron, Dillon is starting just about everybody off inside.
He is trying to do that. He just throws the ball and gets right back on the rubber and says, give it to me again. I'm going to throw something at you hard.
There's a line drive over the shortstop's head into left field for a base hit. Hit number 6 here. Just the 3rd inning for Fordham.
I'd say 3 of the 6 hits, though, Mike, have been in on the hands of Fordham. And that was another example where Dillon comes in tight. And Ancalara just fights it off. And he's able to give it the in-out swing just over Seguin's leap at shortstop.
So Ray Montgomery, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first inning, steps in. Bronxville, New York.
The scouts are watching this kid closely.
2-0 the count.
With a good aggressive bat, steal bases, can roam in the outfield. And has shown that he can hit some line drives and hit with power.
Dillon catches the corner, 2-1. Montgomery 3 for 4 in this afternoon's first game. And he's ahead on the count now, 3-1.
Not the position you want to be in with Mr. Montgomery.
Bullet down the line, gets by Knox at third. Montgomery's into second, and Ancalara into third, second and third. 1 out for Fordham, and then knocking on the door again in the third.
The bats are hot. Montgomery just went and got that ball. It was in the inside part of the plate and rocketed it down the third baseline. Now Bill Champy, we'll see if he can keep things going for Fordham. Opened up with another base hit after an outstanding first game. Again today as he continues to be just torrid at the plate. Had 4 hits in the opener. Jim Dillon should really pitch him carefully here. He's got an out. He needs a ground ball, and he's got first base open. Does not have to put the ball right down the center of the plate with first base open. Got Andy Apostle on deck. Got Champy to bite on that initial curveball. Good piece of pitching by Dillon. Once again, we'll see if Fordham is able to capitalize. Bill Champy, nothing to hang his head over. He can't get a hit every time up. He had 5 in a row. Well, this could be a turning point for Maine if they're able to finally put out a situation for Fordham where they've got a chance to score. Fordham has been so effective all day in these kind of opportunities. Dillon able to get up on the hitters. Andy Apostle, we talked about the Maine kids, some from Maine, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Fordham, predominantly drawing from the New York, New Jersey area. The Judas from Massachusetts, though, on the hill for them today. All 2 showing on the board right now. 2 outs, 2-2 count on Andy Apostle. This is where Jim Dillon, his out pitch is the hard slider. Let's see if he drops down to the side and tries to come hard with one that breaks to the outside corner. But he tried, just came in low with it though. Another chance for Seguin. And a rarity. Fordham unable to capitalize on a scoring opportunity with runners in second and third. At the end of 2.5, it's 2-1 Fordham.
This is professional wrestling's ultimate challenge. Teams of wrestling's best athletes battle each other in hopes of winning the sport's newest treasure. But they must first conquer its most unique matches. The American Wrestling Association presents All-Star Wrestling and the Team Challenge Series.
Turn on Sports Channel America for exciting sports. Follow America's top amateur athletes on the USOC Olympic Sports Series. Hoops fans won't miss a beat with our exclusive national coverage of the World Basketball League. We'll canvas the world of sports and the world at large on World of International Sports. Your weekends are piston-powered with fast-paced NASCAR action and Monday night sizzle with a pro boxing tour. Turn on Sports Channel America for exciting sports.
The Sports Channel Pro Boxing Tour returns for another exciting season of action. This week, former USBA middleweight champion Tony the Punching Postman Thornton battles Dave Taberry live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Join us ringside Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time for the return of the Sports Channel Pro Boxing Tour. This event, remember, may not be available in your area, so check your local listings for details. The crowd still on hand here, celebrating the fact that Fordham did not get on the board that last half inning. Temperatures dropping a bit.
Well, the faithful know how to prepare for a game that the Black Bears play.
Chad White's going to lead it off. White a drive down the right field line. There is room for Champy if he can get there, and he does.
Pretty good haul for Sam Champy.
This game moving along at a much quicker clip than our first game did.
Now the pitches are around the plate. They're working faster, and the batters are going right up there swinging in this one.
Number 4, third baseman Shannon Knox.
Compared to deliberate work in the first game by the pitchers. More walks combined with a ton of base hits.
Shannon Knox 0 for 1. Looks at one outside, 1-0. Knox grounded out to third in the first. Two and 0.
Shannon Knox sort of overdue today. Need him on base if you're a Maine backer.
There's a shot coming up here. 3-0. Knox taking all the way. Judas right back even with them now, 3-2.
Knox is forcing him to work, though. See if he comes in with another fastball.
And he got it swinging.
He might have taken something off that one, and Knox a bit over anxious.
So Judas gets himself out of a little 3-0 count hole he had dug himself.
Just out ahead of the ball. He's choked up. Looks like he might have tipped the ball when you see the replay of it. Secor able to hold on.
2 down, nobody on, bottom of the third. Shortstop, Brian Sieglin. deep to left field. Foul. Hit the base of the fence, just about 3 feet to the left of the foul pole.
Solid stroke by Seguin. Continues to swing the bat with confidence. Just a good all-around looking player. Seguin gets all of this one, but with the hook. Base of the fence looks like probably 3 feet wide of the foul pole. Jumped all over that LeJudas fastball offering.
Judas trying to change up on him there. 2-1. Fouled off the left foot, it would appear, of Brian Seguin. He's walking it off behind the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd.
Seguin, just a sophomore. Ooh, that is painful. Off the left instep. See players, if they've done that enough to put some kind of a protective guard on their foot that they can take off after they get that is painful.
And he got him. Strong inning for Paul LeJudas. Strikes out 2. We have played 3. It's 2-1 Fordham.
Sports Channel is the only place to get the whole soccer picture, and with football fever rising, you won't want to miss any of the action. Catch New England's own Boston Bolts as they compete in their 3rd season of professional soccer action on Sports Channel. The U.S. national team prepares for World Cup competition as Sports Channel brings you exhibition matches against teams from around the world. And don't miss the best of the best on English League Soccer. Join us for the best soccer action found anywhere right here on Sports Channel.
Check out Sports Channel America in June. Saturday night sizzle with the WBL Game of the Week. On U.S. Olympic Showcase, see America's best hope for gymnastics gold, plus volleyball versus France, Italy, and Brazil. Live and exclusive NASCAR action, World of International Sports, the Pro Boxing Tour, and the premiere of IWA Pro Wrestling. All that and more in June on Sports Channel America.
A look from center field here at the Mahaney Diamonds. 2-1 as we head into the 4th inning. Fordham with the lead. University of Maine gets great support up here in Orono for all their sports, especially baseball. Basketball and hockey programs also enjoy great turnouts for their home games. Jim Dillon has given up 7 hits, but only 2 runs in 3 innings. Kevin Secor is going to lead it off here in the 4th.
Now, Dillon's job right now is to try to keep these very hot Fordham bats at bay. Give his team a chance to get in there and jump out in the lead. They have something they have not been able to do all day long.
Have yet to have a lead. Came in pretty heavily favored. 1-1.
I think the other thing with the Fordham team, Mike, is they weren't at all intimidated today. I mean, they came out into the game believing that that they could win, and they certainly have played with a lot of confidence. I think that's why we've had such a good matchup today.
Saw some of the players at a local hamburger establishment late last night. They were a pretty confident group after that 15-1 win over New York Tech. Dillon missing inside. 3-1.
The thing that got my attention was when they lost their opening game to Lemoyne, and then 2 games later came back and beat Lemoyne in the 1-run game. Saw a couple of their players after the game, and they said, I knew we were going to win. That's something that we've been doing all year long, coming from behind late in games.
Down to 3rd. Nice stop by Knox. Gets to his feet. Got him 3rd.
Oh, terrific play ranging over there. Shannon Knox. Comes as no surprise that Secor would go this way with the ball. He's been going there, and finally closing that hole off. Shannon Knox well off the bag, comes up with a fine play.
Sam Champy steps in now as we look at the freshman Shannon Knox. Champy takes low, ball one.
I asked John Winkin, I said, you know, you have some young ball players. Let's talk about the left side of your infield. Freshman Shannon Knox, sophomore Brian Seguin. He is surprised by the way, you know, as a couple of examples, these players have played this year. He said, not at all. I knew I had some outstanding players with these kids. You either just know or you don't know.
Seguin's turn, bobbles it, and he won't get the handle.
Rode up on him.
Yep. First error of this second game. Put the jinx on him here, Ron.
That's right. It was what we call a grass cutter. It just stays down, and at the last moment comes right up on him. Seguin unable to contain it. It was a pretty tough hop on it. He stayed back on it, though. Has been played as aggressively as he's played other balls.
That's got to kill you, though. No apparent reason for that hop. You know, you're looking for the hop maybe off the grass, but
and it just rides up. One thing you don't want to do, he took a call third strike to end the last inning, is take that, maybe be thinking about that at all out in the field.
Jim McDermott hitless in the first game. 1 for 1 so far here in the second. 2 balls, no strikes.
Close.
It's 3-0. Four pitches, a walk for McDermott, and again, Fordham with the table set with 2 out here. Runners at first and second. Back to the top of the order and Santi Galone.
And McDermott, a good solid batter for 9th in the order, but you don't want to walk the 9th batter, particularly where you've got to now hit the iron part of the order.
Galone 1 for 3 in the first game, but scored 3 runs.
He's already got a double and scored 1 in this game, too. Just missed a homer in his first at bat. It's a situation where you want to drive the ball hard somewhere. With first and second, you can hit the ball hard somewhere to the right side and advance the runners. That's your job up there right now.
Champy off second, McDermott off first. The 0-1 pitch from Dillon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Galone very quick, a tough guy to double up.
Right back up the middle, deflected by Dillon. Quick throw, got him at first. Nice recovery there out at shortstop by Brian Seguin.
And that's the kind of ball, if Dillon's able to catch that on the first hop, that's the one kind of play where you can get a guy like Galone and double him up. Hits right on the heel, though, of Dillon's glove. Ricochets, and nice concentration by Seguin to stay with that. Just get Galone. That was a great play.
Champy and McDermott advance. They're in second and third. Dillon starts DeLuca off for the strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. We were talking about Jay Hutchinson as Ender's going to go out and talk a little bit with Dylan. We were talking about Jay Hutchinson of Fordham in the first game, how he walked around the mound after every pitch. Dylan barely steps off the rubber. He just stands there, gets it back, and throws it again.
He's like a pitching machine. Just load me up again and let me throw it. Keeps the game moving. Generally, your fielders would tell you that they like to field behind a pitcher that gets right on the rubber, pitches the ball, and they're more alert into the game. And he's been around the plate, so he tends to help your defense out. He's flirting with trouble, though, again with this second, third situation, which he had last inning.
Ahead in the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at second and third. 2-1 Fordham. We're playing top of the 4th. Deciding game of the ECAC Baseball Championships.
Sometimes what happens is if you can work out of a couple of early jams, and Dylan was in this same situation last inning, second and third for Fordham. They've got it again. You can settle down and have yourself a fine ball game, but it's a make or break situation. You just can't afford to give up hits in these situations. DeLuca has been a tough out today.
Pete DeLuca with that big bases loaded double to ice the first game. Fouls that one back. Pete DeLuca and Bill Champy with 8 of the 15 RBIs. First game for Fordham. On a bounce, and the runner holds at third. Might have been close.
Well, that's the one, if you're Sam Champy, the coaches teach you is to be walking, moving down the line. And as soon as you see a play like this that ricochets, you're gone. But what Champy does is he hesitates, and he would have made it a close play. He needs to be walking, and then gone. And as soon as he hesitates right there, you can see he said, I should have gone.
Pitch just misses outside, and the count is full of 3-2. 2 outs. Runners at second and third. Chad White with plenty of room.
Dylan will live again, as will Maine.
We have played 3.5. 2-1.
You're gonna reach for it today. You're in the pursuit of excellence, and nothing's gonna stand in your way. It's a challenge to your mind, calling to your heart. You know you'll never be the same. Watch the distance of excellence, the University of Maine. This is your hour. You can feel the black bear power calling you on to be the best you can be. This is your hour. You'll never be the same. A tradition of excellence, the University of Maine. The University of Maine.
Strap yourself in for high-speed excitement. Sports Channel takes you trackside for a recap of the week in motorsports. Speedway Sunday puts racing fans on the inside track for worldwide auto racing action. Beginning June 3rd, look to Speedway Sunday every week at 7:30 p.m. Eastern and 4:30 p.m. Pacific right here on Sports Channel. Check your local listings for availability in your area. Paul LaJudas has given up only 2 hits as we go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-7-0 the numbers for Fordham. 1-2-1 for the host Black Bears, the University of Maine. Mark Sweeney, who took one out of here his first time up, steps in against LaJudas. LaJudas tries to change up on him and misses. Ball 1. Holliston, Massachusetts, where Mark Sweeney calls home. Count is even, 1-1. Two balls, one strike. You can hear the Fordham bench players who refer to Paul as Judy. Keep on saying, come on, Judy.
No punch a Judy hitter. That he's facing anyways, if that's what they want to call Paul. Paul LaJudas was 9-0 last year, Mike. He was 9-1, I should say. MAC Rookie of the Year, so he's got some experience behind him, even though he's just a sophomore. The 1-2 punch, Joe Maniscalco, Paul LaJudas. He's got some good spotting out there when he puts the ball right on the corners.
Two pitch to Sweeney. Strokes one deep up the gap in left center field. That one will hit the wall on one bounce, and Sweeney will be in with a stand-up double.
Good looking hitter, isn't he, Mike?
Sure is.
That's a changeup. He just waits. He stays back. Mark Sweeney doing all he can to make sure that Maine advances to the next round. Just waits on that ball and drives it. And you can see Ray Montgomery puts a bid on it, but that is just right in the spot, base of the fence, some 380 feet away.
So a home run and a double for Mark Sweeney, who seems to have Paul LaJudas' number 5th hit of the day for Mark Sweeney. And that'll bring Andy Hartung to the plate. Andy flied out to right field his first time up. Andy just 1 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 1 in the second, but a much better hitter than that.
He's been pitched pretty well today, and he did get a couple of scoring chances late in the first game. I think the first 3 times he get up, no one was on base in the first game.
A 1-0 pitch from LaJudas.
Oh boy, Mike,
And deep to left field. Very deep. That's out of here.
that was what you call a long, high fly home run. Thought he had something special on it, and that could be a turning point for Maine. Dillon has been able to get out of a couple of two runners on base jams, and now the 2 big guns, Sweeney and Hartung, come up, and you can forget about that one. That was way out.
Second home run of this tournament for Andy Hartung.
Watch his straight change. It's down. Forget about it. High fly variety. This is what you call a classic home run.
Well out of here. So for the first time since we started playing baseball about 5 minutes after 12 this afternoon, Maine has a lead. It's 3-2 in the bottom of the 4th.
Fordham has done a very effective job to keep the crowd quiet too, but with a play like that, the Maine faithful certainly getting into the act.
Judas falls behind Craig Ender, 2-0. Senior catcher out of Lawrenceville, New York.
LaJudas was rolling along pretty well too until those 2 hits.
Three balls, no strike. Kevin Secor out to calm down his pitcher.
Good job by Secor. LaJudas, let's face it, he knows he was rocked on those 2 hits, and Secor saying, hey, let's settle down. Put that behind you.
Fordham coach for the first time down in the game. And Ender gets a walk on 4 pitches. So a double, a home run, and a walk to open up the bottom of the 4th here. Tim Scott will step to the plate. 1 on, nobody out, 2 runs in, 3-2 Maine.
Tim Scott, just a sophomore. Young infield for the University of Maine.
Judas jumps ahead. Fordham not wasting any time as they've got action now down in the bullpen. And Scott quickly behind on the count, 0-2. The 0-2 to Scott. 1-2. Scott out to second. Galone, a nice play. Return 2.
Nice turn out there by Fordham, well hit, and again, the Galone-McDermott combination, an effective one.
4-6 to 3.
Really had a reach. LeJudas did a good job to keep that ball away from Scott. Nice toss over there by Santi. Pretty hard slide into second base, but McDermott over
hangs
the
right
top.
in there, doesn't he?
He really does.
So 2 down now, nobody on, and Gary Taylor steps to the plate. Outside corner on that one, looked a little wide, and you hear the reaction from the crowd. 0-1. One pitch. That one is hit at top. Deep to left center field.
Forget about it.
Gary Taylor, the second home run of the inning.
I took a look at Ray Montgomery in center field, and he just stopped even moving after that ball. Gary Taylor maybe saving his best for this game here today. Didn't start in the first one. Came in, a couple of walks, and that one he put a charge into. Ball's away from him, and he just goes with it, drives it, and puts a charge into it. Similar placement to Hartung's.
No cheapies here either.
Oh.
Home runs by Hartung, Sweeney, and now Taylor for 3 of the 4 runs. Actually, all 4 as Hartung's was a 2-run shot. Mike DeLucia looks at 1 outside, ball 1. 4-2 now Maine. Bottom of the 4th inning.
Maine can force Fordham now to play a little catch-up ball.
Cut down at first, but nice recovery, and over to cover is DeLucia. But Maine comes up with 3 in the bottom of the 4th. A couple of home runs. It's 4-2 Black Bears.
What you'll get without Sports Channel. What you'll get with Sports Channel. Sports Channel.
Keep pace with some of the major contenders in college sports from the Southeastern Conference on SEC Weekly. Tune into an in-depth look at one of the nation's best conferences every week. SEC Weekly.
The wind is blowing out, and the Black Bears took advantage of it with a couple of home runs there in the last inning to get their first lead of the day. 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th. It is now 4-2 Maine in this, the deciding game of the ECAC Baseball Championships. Here from Orono, Maine, Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry. Maine bat boy a little happier right now.
Got his helmet on, ready to play. Ready for the game. Ian Gallagher working his way down to third base, head coach for Fordham.
And let's see if Jim Dillon now, who has given up 7 hits. Fordham still out hitting Maine 7-5, even though they're down on the scoreboard 4-2. Every inning has been something of an adventure.
Now that's when you trade singles and doubles for home runs, Mike. Maine with 5 hits, but 3 of them have been over the fence. So round trippers.
Mike Ancolari will lead it off here in the 5th inning.
And these are legitimate dimensions here too at Mahaney Diamond. 330 down the lines, 375 in the alleys, and 400 to dead center. So you need to put a charge into it to take it out of this ballpark.
Ancolari singled his first time up. Fouls that one back. 1-1. Like to watch a quick baseball game, you want to see Jim Dillon pitch. I tell you, he's just on that rubber the whole time. Larry fouls off another.
I think as he finishes his follow through, he's backing up.
It does look
and
that
by
way.
the time he catches it, he's got his foot on the rubber. In stark contrast to Jay Hutchinson from the first game for Fordham, who does a routine where how about when he walks around the mound and kind of checks things out. But hey, it's whatever rhythm and routine gets you comfortable out there.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and he's got him in the outside corner.
Boy, he's got some very, very good placement on that outside fastball. And twice now, Ancolari has been forced to just sit there flat-footed looking at it.
3rd strikeout for Jim Dillon.
Watch the placement. Right to Craig Ender's glove. And no question on there as far as Ancolari's concerned. He's back to the dugout. There wasn't much he could do with that ball. That was a very difficult pitch to try to reach.
Ray Montgomery doubled his last time up, and you see Dillon poised and ready on the mound, waiting for Montgomery to get in there.
Dillon now with a couple-run lead. He looks a little bit even more fired up to me now. It does send some confidence into your pitcher when you finally go ahead and get him some runs, get him the lead. Worked out of some tough jams. We'll see if he can now start putting some 1, 2, 3 innings together. Tough to do against this man, though.
Montgomery steps out, trying to break his rhythm. And now Dillon walks off the mound for the first time. But he's back in a hurry.
That's a long pause for him.
Montgomery
Tough
down
play.
the right side. First baseman back with room. And Mike DeLucia makes the play.
He actually got back there pretty well on it. Sometimes you can send it down there into sort of Death Valley where it falls in between the triangle.
2 down, no damage here in the top of the 5th.
Dillon's velocity looks even better this inning. That was a pitch, I think, the last time that Montgomery was up that he stroked down the left field line. John Winkin comes into this thing with a game plan. He knew what he wanted to do today, and he's got to be feeling a little bit better right now that his team has finally bounced out in front of Fordham, who's just been torrid with the bats.
Bill Champy takes low, ball 1. Champy 1 for 2 in this second game. 4 for 5 in the first with 4 RBIs. Nice day at the office.
He's liking the offerings that he's seeing today.
2-0. And you would think, I mean, you hear, and you've been there, so you can probably tell us. You get in a groove like Champy's in, I mean, not only do you see every pitch well, flies that one out. Shallow center field, shortstop back, and he's got it easily. Ryan Seguin. 1-2-3 inning for Dillon, as well as Champy was seeing the ball. Maine now on a bit of a roll. They lead 4-2.
Sports Channel is the only place to get the whole soccer picture, and with football fever rising, you won't want to miss any of the action. Catch New England's own Boston Bolts as they compete in their 3rd season of professional soccer action on Sports Channel. The U.S. national team prepares for World Cup competition as Sports Channel brings you exhibition matches against teams from around the world. And don't miss the best of the best on English League Soccer. Join us for the best soccer action found anywhere right here on Sports Channel.
Back here at Mahaney Diamond, a quick reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Eastern College Athletic Conference and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Sports Channel is prohibited. And Mike Lehman has come on to pitch now for Fordham. Maine dugout a little more pumped up than it was before. Paul LaJudas goes 4 innings. Gives up 5 hits and 4 runs. And Mike Lehman will come on and try to hold the fort here as Fordham tries to get themselves back in the game.
Now, Mike Lehman has pitched 18 innings this year and comes in with a record of 1-0 with a 5.3 ERA, giving up 20 hits and 11 earned runs in those 18 innings, with 7 strikeouts and 6 walks. The transfer from the University of Southern Cal.
(2-7-0) the numbers so far for Fordham. 4-5-1 for Maine. The long ball being the difference. Hartung, Sweeney, and Taylor all with home runs. Gets his tosses in. Lights on now here at Mahaney Diamond as we go through the late afternoon and head into the early evening. Chad White will lead off an inning for the 2nd time this afternoon. Flat out to right field his first time up. Lehman getting his first assignment here in the tournament. Misses high, ball one. Two and 0 to White. Ball three.
It's like Lehman aimed that last one. I think Dan Gallagher, as you had mentioned earlier, was hoping that LeJudas would give him probably 2 or 3 more innings so that he could then jockey down the stretch. Lehman has not pitched a lot of innings this year. A sophomore. It's just the 5th inning.
He misses high, ball 4. So 4 straight balls out of Mike Lehman. And Chad White's on first to lead off here in the bottom of the 5th. Back to the top of the order, and Shannon Knox grounded out and struck out.
Number 4, third baseman, Shannon Knox.
Andy Apostle coming in from third to calm down his young pitcher.
It's a good move. He wasn't really near the plate on those 4. It's just sort of a calm down kind of thing.
He gets one in there now. 0-1, the count to Knox. Shannon's had a long afternoon at the plate. He's played well in the field.
This hasn't really been there for him. He's been on top of some breaking balls, and he seems to be beating ground balls into the ground to the left side.
Lehman shows his move to first. White back without much trouble. Base hit by Knox in the right field. The hit and run pays off as White will get around the third.
Perfect execution. Just outstanding. That's the way to deliver, and that's a good move on John Winkin's part. He sends the runner. Knox perhaps is thinking up at the plate right now where he hasn't had much success, so he knows he's going to go after this one. He waits on the curve ball and just drives it to the right side. Going to move the runner along. You might as well get yourself on base as well.
John Winkin wants to have a little chat now with Brian Seguin before he comes up as we look at Champy fielding it on 1 hop. Knox on first, White on third, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning, Maine with a 4-2 lead and threatening to add to it right here.
Knox, a good contact hitter, a good call by John Winkin.
Breaking ball for strike.
Right over the top, Mike Lehman with the fastball on the curve. John Winkins can do some different things now. He's got a contact hitter up there in Seguin. He could hit and run with Knox. He could pull off a double steal because he does have some speed on the base pass right now.
Knox bluffing on first base, got Lehman's attention.
Stepped off the rubber. I wouldn't be surprised to see another hit.
There goes Knox.
There it is.
Up the middle, Galone, great stop. He'll have a play at first, but a run scores. White comes across.
It's the hit and run again. They were hoping that Galone would be covering. It looked like it was red out there because McDermott was covering, and it was a great stop by Galone. Another hit and run. Another breaking ball. Waited on by Seguin. Super stop by Galone. Seguin does his job.
But White able to score from third as we look at Knox going one more time. It is 5-2 now, Maine. And Secor will go out and talk it over with Lehman. 5, 6, and 1, the numbers for Maine. 2, 7, and 0 for Fordham. Conkling is back up throwing.
In Tom Biggins.
The umpire just starting out to get Secor, who knows the routine, and starts back in. They buy a little time for their bullpen. 1 out. Runner at second. 1 run in. And now here comes Dan Gallagher. He is not going to wait too long in this championship and deciding game, it would appear. To talk with the sophomore Lehman, and again, action from both sides in the Fordham bullpen.
Buying some time.
See how much time Walt Mortimer, the home plate umpire, gives him. The crowd wants to see the ump head out there, and now he starts his slow walk. Biggins, the left-hander, Conkling, the right-hander. Mark Sweeney at the plate. Sweeney with a home run and double in his first 2 at-bats, and now it looks like Fordham is going to make the move to the bullpen. And it will be Biggins, who we haven't seen yet.
This looked like Walt Mortimer called in the pitcher.
Yes, he did.
Gonna make a change? Okay, let's get on with it.
So Mike Lehman goes a third of an inning. He'll be responsible for knocks on second base. We'll take a break and be back. It's 5-2. Maine by 3, and looking for more.
Us believes to each according to his needs, from each according to his...
that sounds a little like Karl Marx.
Oh, just a touch. Is that real zebra skin? This.
I'll tell you right after.
Okay.
Tell you exactly where I got it from. It's a tremendous story.
Hey, all the slobs aren't quarterbacks. There are some slob reporters, too.
If you'll excuse me, fellas, I have to blow my nose.
Yeah,
I'm
blow
gonna
your nose.
do
See
it.
if you hit him right between the eyes and see if that doesn't...
Dennis Rodman smiles through... He smiles when some guy kicks him in the groin.
What you'll get without Sports Channel. What you'll get with Sports Channel.
Warriors. The battle. The toughest men on the planet.
Oh, what a shot by Maynard, and down goes Keene.
The Sports Channel Pro Boxing Tour.
And Tom Biggins now will get his shot out on the mound. Biggins, a 6'2", 200-pound senior. Pitched a little against Lemoyne earlier in the tournament. 3 and 5 for Fordham over his career coming into this year.
Won 3 ball games this year. He pitched a solid game against Lemoyne. That was the 5-4 win.
Jim Dillon looks on from the dugout. After avoiding some trouble early, Dillon has gotten stronger as the game has gone on. Fordham now on their 3rd pitcher with knocks out at second base, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Fordham trying to keep it close.
Yeah, Fordham almost got to Dillon, too. They had the 2nd and 3rd innings, Mike, with the 2nd and 3rd situations, and they just weren't able to get the job done against Dillon. Escaped that, and now he looks like he's getting stronger. In the meantime, Maine's hit a couple balls out of the park.
So Tom Biggins has his work cut out for him with this guy, Mark Sweeney. 2 for 2, a home run and a double. And he has clocked both of those. Been right on it here in the 2nd game.
He doesn't seem to be bothered by going up against the left-handed pitcher. He was up against a very tough one in the 1st game, Fordham's Bob Almer, and he stays right in there. He's got a slightly open stance and just stays right back and waits for the ball.
Inside, ball 1. 5 hits on the afternoon for Mark Sweeney. And a long foul home run.
can only think of one ball that he didn't hit well, and it was a base hit anyhow. It was down the left field line. He dropped one down there. He sends a charge into it.
Slow breaking ball misses outside.
Biggins fastball, and he's got the big breaker. More of an old-fashioned drop than it is a hard breaking pitch. Be a tough pitch on lefties. Kind of pitch, that breaking pitch, where you need to go up the middle with it, stay right in there.
Missing 2 balls, 1 strike. Maine looking to blow this one open in the bottom of the 5th. Sweeney with Hartung on deck, 1 down. Out to left field. Plenty of room there for Champion on the run. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Throw back in. Knox gets back into second base.
That was a long run for Champion, left field. Ball hung up there for quite a while, but he had to make a very nice running catch on this ball. Ball is slicing down the left field line, and see if he traps this or if he's able to get it. Oh, nice job. He able to get himself under there and playing it halfway as Shannon Knox, and able to get back just in time to avoid the double up.
So now with 2 down, Andy Hartung steps to the plate. Hartung, a tremendous 2-run shot his last time up. And again, we're going to see Dan Gallagher head to the mound.
See if he plays the percentages and brings Conkling in. Exactly what he's going to do.
Got the out he wanted from Biggins, and now it'll be Conkling's turn.
Yeah, Dan Gallagher doesn't care. He'll use everyone on his team if he has to. This is it right now. This is the ball game that he knows his team has to pull off. It's a good job by Biggins. Not easy to come in, get the one batter, especially a guy who's been as hot as Mark Sweeney's been today.
Dan Gallagher, who is donating $50 for every win Fordham comes up with this year to a fund in New York City for children with cancer. And this Fordham team's won 33 games already, so Dan's making a heck of a contribution to a great cause down in the city.
I think that's terrific.
America's first World Cup team in 40 years is getting ready for their summer showdown in Italy. Watch Team USA battle Partizan Belgrade in a thrilling soccer matchup. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Sports Channel, coming up later on today. And of course tonight, the hockey will be here on Sports Channel. The battle for hockey's most coveted prize continues with Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals. It's out in Edmonton this time. This pivotal contest showcases the Boston Bruins and the Edmonton Oilers on the Northland's ice. Face-off is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, live on Sports Channel. Not seen in all areas, so check your local listings. Bill Conkling gets in his warm-up tosses. Andy Hartung in the on-deck circle, waiting to step in, and the crowd getting on Conkling a little bit off that toss.
Conkling pitched the last inning of the first game today. So he's already loosened up and been in some live action. Key in that first game was Hutchinson. Almer got things started, and then Hutchinson worked out of a couple of those bases loaded jams, and that game was really hanging in the balance. And then the Fordham bats came up with some big hits and runs to put the first game away. Maine's got themselves back in the driver's seat in this one, though. Tremendous shot last time by Hartung.
Hartung looks at one high, ball one.
Conkling with the fastball and throws the curve from 3/4. And it's got a big break on it.
One ball, one strike. Missing outside, 2-1.
Pitching Hartung very carefully.
As well he should.
Now with the power he's displayed.
Knox, the walking lead off second. Three balls, one strike now.
4 curveballs in a row.
Think Andy's going to be sitting on one here?
I don't know if Conkling will give in to him. I'd say he's gearing up in his mind. If he sees a fastball, he's going to give it a big cut.
Ball 4 outside. Runners now on first and second with 2 down.
Not much to hit there for Hartung.
Certainly wasn't.
Good patience on his part.
That'll bring Craig Ender up to the plate.
Way outside, just 3-1. Won't give Hartung much to swing at. Nice stop on that play by Secor, the catcher.
Conkling, on the other hand, now though really has to attack Ender here. Last thing that Fordham wants is a big inning. He gets behind on the count, 1-0. Missed with the breaking ball.
Well, eventually he's going to have to throw a fastball. Try to get himself up on the count.
Suddenly we have the pace of the first game now in this half inning.
That's right. Dillon and LaJudas were both in that get on the rubber and throw.
Here's a strike, 1-1.
Here's Conkling. He's got to challenge the hitters. You can't try to finesse your way through each batter, although with Hartung was certainly understandable.
This is outside, 2-1. Two balls, one strike, 2 outs. Runner on second, 5-2. Maine, bottom of the 5th.
Conkling, just a freshman. Getting some great experience here in the ECAC playoff final.
Unable to hold up there. Counts even at 2-2.
Helped him out. That ball was down in the dirt.
Looked like it was.
This ball looks good, and then it just drops down. Ender came around on it.
2-2 pitch to Andy Hartung. The count goes full to 3-2.
Conkling is shaking his arm out on the mound. He's probably somewhat stiff from having already thrown today.
They've had Hartung up there the last couple of pitches. That's Craig Ender at the place. Hartung on first already off that walk. Ender pops it up. Sandy Galone at second, calls for it. And he's got it, and Conklin gets out of the inning. So we have played 5. It's 5-2, Maine.
I'm Rick Tellender, host for Sports Check. Join us weekly as we address the major sports issues on Sports Channel.
I'm an educator more than I'm a drug cop. If I get a positive, I try and work with the athlete and try and get them straightened out and say, hey, look, you got to stop this, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to compete. There's nothing personal here. I go by what the Olympic lab reads me back. It doesn't matter if they're my friend or not.
Building that holds the coaches' offices and locker rooms down the third base line here at Mahaney Diamond. Great little facility here at the University of Maine at Orono. And the Black Bears of Maine head into the 6th inning up by a score of 5-2. Jim Dillon has settled down after a rocky start.
We certainly have become familiar with those rooms.
Yes, we have.
Inside
a lot of people
the night
have
facility.
given the rain here all week long, but the crowd, again, a good one this afternoon. Looking to get their Black Bears on into the NCAAs.
Seem to appreciate good baseball, too. They've been, I think, either way, Fordham's made some outstanding plays in the field, and folks have really appreciated some of the fine plays that we've seen today.
Andy Apostle will lead it off against Jim Dillon. We move into the 6th inning, 5-2. Dillon misses outside, ball 1. Now Apostle steps out. Dillon catches the corner, 1-1. Two balls a strike.
What Dillon wants to do now is just try to stay up on the hitters and let his teammates make the plays behind him.
Brian Powell down the right side. Count is even at 2. Braves full 3-2. Great play. It's short. He's got him at first.
Seguin makes it look easy, doesn't he? That can eat up a lot of ball players. He just backhand scooped it. A hard shot by Apostle. Hit it to the wrong guy.
Kevin Secor steps to the plate.
That'll give you a pitcher a lift when you see your defense making plays like that one. Dillon's control has been very good in this game. Hitting the spots. Fordham jumped right out on him, but he's been able to hang in there.
Drive to left field. White back with room, and he got it.
Dillon is getting in a groove now, and Fordham is really in the position that Maine has been in for much of the afternoon, where they need to get a couple of base runners Get a couple of rallies going. They don't have the knockout power the way that Maine does. They need to piece together 2, 3, 4 hits, which we certainly have seen that they're capable of doing.
Dillon misses low, 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the 6th, 5-2 Maine. Maine behind 2-0. Sam Champion struck out and reached on an error. And he pops it up. First baseman DeLucia handles it easily. 8 in a row put down by Jim Dillon. We move to the bottom of the 6th, 5-2.
The adventures of Nick, a teen, the last of the red-hot buttheads. Yeah. On his way to school each day, unlike the other passengers, Nick was constantly being encouraged to stick his head out the window. And to school.
No fair. We had the butthead last time.
Too bad. We want Norman.
That Norman kid must be a lot better ball player than he lets on.
Desperate for friends, Nick joins the Pack Rats.
Man, what a drag.
But the following spring, Nick's fancy turned to girls and getting a date for the Smokey Robinson concert.
You really light up my life.
And you're like really darkening my doorstep.
Okay.
Strike 1.
I've got seats to Smokey this Saturday.
Sorry, Nick. I'm already dating this really cute ball player.
Strike 2.
I'm burning for you, babe. How about
you talk to that female butthead and leave me alone?
What a drag.
Strike 3. You're out. Don't be a butthead.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning here in the ECAC championship game. Maine with a 5-2 lead over Fordham. Fordham with 15 runs in the opener of this doubleheader to stun John Winkin's club, but the Black Bears have bounced back.
Now, there was a lot of fight in the Black Bears in the first game, but Fordham just went with the hot bats, and only until the last couple of innings have they slowed down a little bit behind the pitching of Maine's Jim Dillon. Fordham really needs to hold right here, and let's face it, they're well into their pitching rotation, and Conkling's got to step forward and just try to hold the door shut for a couple innings here while Fordham regroups with their bats against Dillon, who's really on a roll right now.
Tim Scott will lead it off. Scott hit by a pitch and grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. Conkling throws a lot of breaking balls, doesn't he?
Sure does. He threw more fastballs, Mike, in the first game. I think he's tired, and he figures he's going to be better off throwing some of those breaking balls here.
1 ball, 1 strike to Scott.
Kevin Secor, we get another look at him behind the plate, is giving us a little of that leg kick with the right leg, a little a la Tony Pena. Catches for the Boston Red Sox now. He's in the crouch there.
Fouled off right side. There's room. Nice catch over there. DeLuca with the play. 1 down.
Knew where he was.
Gary Taylor steps to the plate. He hit a home run his last time up. 1 for 2 in the second game.
Is DeLuca. Tractor just beyond him, behind a fence. He gave it a little peek down, knew where he was. Gary Taylor's shoulder must be feeling all right with the charge he put into the ball last time up.
Conkling misses inside, ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
Kind of a lull has come over the field right now. fans are quiet.
Two and one. Black Bears hoping to move on. Again, came in heavily favored. Looked the part coming into this afternoon's action undefeated. And ran into a very hot Fordham team earlier that scored 15 runs on them. 3-1 now, the count to Taylor.
Maine's game with New York Tech was actually a pretty good game for about 7 innings, and they just blew it open in the 8th and 9th. Ended up winning 9-2, so really rolled into this final.
And Gary Taylor draws a walk. Hustles down to first, but he won't go any further as the ball got by Kevin Secor. It's the 3rd walk today Gary Taylor has picked up. Came in as a designated hitter late in the first game and drew a couple of walks.
Call that one a wild pitch. That wasn't even close. Secor just barely got a glove on it.
Mike DeLucia. Flat out and grounded out his first 2 trips. Nice breaking ball.
It's got a break on it. Starts it in and it just kind of whips it across the plate.
Move to first. Taylor is back. Fordham out of the blocks quickly in the second game. A run in the top of the first, another in the second. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. Then they have been shut out the last 4 innings. As Jim Dillon has put down 8 in a row. Two-strike pitch from Conklin. Breaking ball, and he got it.
That one was up, too.
I can enjoy the foods I love. It's so liberating.
Sensa is the brainchild of Dr. Alan Hirsch, board-certified neurologist and psychiatrist, and one of the world's leading experts on our senses of smell and taste. Dr. Hirsch has appeared on CNN, the CBS Early Show, and Good Morning America, and his research has been cited in major publications, including Time Magazine and the New York Times.